Look, the day begins and our clever cart is ready for adventure. Timmy and Max prepare carefully, sensing a hint of magic in the air. A single butterfly flutters toward the cart, and the journey is about to start. The morning sun gently kisses the quiet country road, where wild flowers sway in the light breeze. Timmy Tinker and his friend Chubby Max carefully prepare their newly built cart for the long journey ahead. Soon, they stack the fresh harvest high onto the cart, filling the air with the scent of vegetables. As they begin to pull, the wooden wheels let out a rhythmic creak that echoes across the golden meadow. Suddenly, the stubborn cart comes to a complete halt, refusing to move another inch down the dusty path. Little butterflies circle the cart in the morning warmth, landing gently on the crisp green leaves of the harvest. Understanding its unusual personality, Timmy leans down to offer the clever cart a kind and sincere word of praise. Immediately, the wheels begin to turn with newfound energy, sliding smoothly across the long road toward the market. Curious villagers peek from their doors, watching the boys and their marvelous cart pass through the waking village. They share a happy, tired smile, knowing they still have a long way to go before reaching the busy market. At that moment, the road becomes rougher, and the cart grows stubborn again, stopping halfway on the dusty track. Chubby Max hurries over and uses his sweetest compliments to comfort the sulking wooden cart with dramatic seriousness. Afterward, both friends walk while praising the cart, and the wheels begin rolling in a steady, confident rhythm. As noon slowly approaches, sunlight leans across the fields, shining over the bright green vegetables piled on the cart. A moment later, Timmy's face is covered with sweat from the exhausting job of pushing and praising at once. Beside him, Chubby Max wipes his forehead too, yet he still adds another glowing compliment for their difficult helper. In the gentle wind, the leafy vegetables tremble softly, almost as if they are listening to every admiring word. Slowly but surely, the cart begins to speed up when it feels the affection and respect of its friends. Far ahead, the small roofs of the market tents begin to appear at the end of the familiar trail. Gradually, they realize the market is still farther away than it looks, and they must remain patient together. A moment later, Timmy stops to inspect the left wheel because a strange squeaking sound begins to appear. Meanwhile, Chubby Max bends down anxiously, afraid the smart cart has become offended by something again. Timmy whispers a few respectful praises, and the cart suddenly behaves, rolling forward with a calm little shake. At the same time, the wheel begins to turn smoothly, leaving the annoying squeak behind on the road. After a simple lunch under the shade, sunlight begins to dance peacefully across the trees beside the path. Then, Chubby Max laughs when he sees a tiny bird land proudly on the fullest basket of vegetables. As the afternoon softens, the cart keeps rolling as if it truly understands the hearts of the boys. Slowly, Timmy begins to relax because the difficult journey toward the market finally feels close to completion. Beside the porches of roadside homes, wild flowers show their bright colors to every traveler passing by. The cart moves into the shade of ancient trees, and the whole dusty road suddenly feels cooler and kinder. In that little pocket of joy, the cart answers their compliments with a soft and cheerful wooden vibration. Then, the two friends laugh together for the rest of the journey, filling the road with lively warmth. Even though the wheels are covered with dust, they continue rolling bravely toward the distant market gate. By now, the stalls of the market can be seen clearly ahead, rising like small, colorful houses. A moment later, Timmy feels satisfied because the cart has finally become almost perfectly cooperative and cheerful. Just then, the cart stops abruptly again, only because a butterfly has landed delicately on the axle. Chubby Max bows to the butterfly with exaggerated politeness, asking it to release their very important delivery cart. The butterfly flutters away, and the cart resumes moving, as if enjoying the attention and praise even more. As the noon hours pass, the road grows quieter, with only the steady music of the wheels around them. The cart's creaking gradually becomes a private little song, marking every step of their funny market adventure. Beautiful butterflies continue to follow the loaded cart, as if cheering for the journey from flower to flower. From that point on, Timmy praises the cart while constantly wiping the sweat from his forehead with his sleeve. Chubby Max pauses for a drink of cool water before returning to push the vegetable cart with fresh energy. A moment later, the cart continues its journey, gliding more smoothly along the long and glowing dirt road. Meanwhile, the cart gives a tiny shiver, almost like a proud answer to their enthusiastic compliments. The shaded road under the trees helps the whole group feel much more comfortable during the final stretch. Timmy checks the time and urges Chubby Max to hurry because the afternoon is already knocking at the sky. At that moment, the cart starts rushing toward the market while both boys cheer as loudly as they can. A moment later, the little market houses appear more clearly, creating a beautiful scene full of promise. Meanwhile, the cart takes one short rest before finishing the last part of the journey to the market. Chubby Max wipes away the final beads of sweat, ready for the last few meters of the road. The late afternoon sunlight pours golden color across the dirt path leading into the small market square. Now, the cart rolls steadily, no longer showing even a trace of the stubbornness from the morning. A moment later, the traditional wooden market gate appears before them, welcoming the fresh vegetable delivery. Together, the two boys push the smart cart through the wooden gate and into the lively heart of the market. The cart seems to tremble with happiness because it has completed such a difficult and honorable mission. Afterward, they begin unloading the fresh vegetable baskets onto the stall with bright excitement and relief. Soon, people around the market gather close, admiring the clever pulling cart with delighted curiosity. A moment later, the cart stands quietly beside the stall, enjoying the warm attention from everyone nearby. Meanwhile, the two friends sit on an old wooden bench, resting after the long and challenging journey. Then, sunset slowly settles over the market, covering every stall and roof with a warm orange glow. Timmy gazes at the bright sky, feeling proud of the cart that had worked so hard with them. Chubby Max eats a small, sweet bun, happy after a journey that had turned into a funny victory. Beside them, the cart waits obediently, enjoying the evening market air after a successful day of service. After the sky grows darker, stars begin to shine above the deep blue roof of the village night. The market crowd gradually thins, returning the square to a calmer and more peaceful evening mood. Timmy stands and pats the handle of the cart gently, as if telling it that home is waiting. A moment later, both friends take the handles and prepare to bring their hard-working wooden companion home. Then, the cart begins rolling lightly along the road back after a long and memorable day. When night arrives, silver moonlight shines over the path, guiding them toward their warm little house. By now, the cart no longer needs compliments. It rolls forward with quiet confidence and earned dignity. A moment later, they continue walking in silence, enjoying the calm success of their long day. Far ahead, the warm light from their small house begins to appear, glowing like a welcome lantern. Then, they reach the door, and the cart stops gently, as if ending the journey with a bow. Timmy gives the cart his most sincere praise, thanking it for all the hard work it completed today. Chubby Max helps store the cart in the shed, where it can finally rest after many dusty miles. A moment later, the boys step into the house, where the small kitchen still holds a cozy warmth. Inside, golden light fills the quiet room and makes the silence feel safe, soft, and deeply comforting. Outside, peace settles over everything, and the narrow dirt road returns to its gentle nighttime stillness. Finally, the night wind brushes past, making the wild flowers tremble beside the long moonlit path. A beautiful day closes, leaving only silver moonlight to watch over the quiet road and sleeping cart. Yet the story of that cart does not end with the closing of the little wooden shed door. All night, the cart rests proudly between old tools, still remembering the compliments that helped it move. In its wooden dreams, it hears Timmy's careful voice and Chubby Max's cheerful praise echoing like music. The moonlight slips through the cracks of the shed, drawing pale lines across the dusty wheels. Outside, the vegetables sold at the market become part of many warm dinners in many small homes. Families laugh over simple meals, never knowing how much encouragement carried those baskets across the countryside. Back in the cottage, Timmy washes his hands and smiles at the memory of the stubborn wheel. Chubby Max stretches near the stove, still laughing about the butterfly that stopped their serious delivery. They talk about how strange the day was, yet both know it taught them something valuable. Some tools need force, some friends need patience, and some carts simply need a little appreciation. Timmy writes the lesson in his small notebook, careful not to forget the secret of kind words. Chubby Max adds that tomorrow they should bring extra water, extra bread, and extra compliments just in case. The warm kitchen fills with laughter, and the two friends feel proud of their unusual adventure. Before sleep, Timmy opens the door and looks toward the shed where the cart is resting. He whispers one more thank you into the night, soft enough for only the stars to hear. A tiny creak answers from the shed, almost like the cart has accepted the final praise. Smiling, Timmy closes the door and lets the cottage return to its gentle quiet. At dawn, the countryside begins to glow again, and the first birds sing above the roof. The cart remains still, but the soft light makes its wooden frame look brave and ready. Timmy wakes early, already thinking about the next trip, the next harvest, and the next challenge. Chubby Max joins him with sleepy eyes and a determined smile, prepared for whatever the road brings. Together, they step outside and see dew shining on the grass like tiny pearls in the morning. The shed door opens with a familiar